Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another Winnipeg Jets game breakdown. Today, the Jets are in one of their most important games of the season, if not the most important, versus the Nashville Predators, who are chasing them in the standings. It is tough going right now. The Jets need points, and they need to start winning these games. A lot of games have slipped through the Jets' hands. A game, very winnable in Carolina, a game very winnable in Boston, and they weren't able to pull out some points. The Jets have been playing very well as of late, but just haven't been able to get the results, and just kind of been, hurting themselves. Today's game, they were all over Nashville from start to finish, but they really just could not get the goal scoring until later in the game. But we will get into that in just a minute. We're going to start right from the top here in the first period. The Jets have not been having much luck in the first period. They've been letting in some goals, within the first 5 minutes. I believe it's been like 5 or 6 games now, and this game, no different. Cody Glass, the Winnipegger, scoring to make it 1-0. That's his 10th of the year. Good for Cody Glass for, kind of figuring it out, having a career year this year for Nashville. And, hey, as much as I like Cody Glass, I wish he didn't do that to the Jets today. And that's a 1-0 Preds lead. However, the Jets at one point led the shots. I believe it was 10-2. At the end of the first period, it was 13-5 for Winnipeg. Winnipeg outplayed Nashville big time, but just could not find the back of the net. The second period was a lot, more back and forth, and, the Jets had their chances, but they did look like they were giving Nashville a little bit more momentum. Just a lot of stuff was going on here in the second. Lots of chances from both ends, lots of, just kind of looking away going, oh God, are they going to go up 2-0? And that was my biggest fear, because I really felt if Nashville went up 2-0 in this game, the Jets just weren't going to be able to do anything about it, because, they just couldn't seem to buy a goal, shutout against Boston, and seemingly getting goalied here again. It was just frustrating, but through 2, it remains 1-0 Nashville. Now we head into the third period, and then this is where all hell broke loose. This was such a fun game. Just over 6 minutes into the third period, Nikolai Ehlers scores a ridiculous goal. A howitzer, a clap bomb, whatever you want to call it, a bullet. I don't know, but absolutely disgusting shot. I couldn't believe he scored. I thought it went off the post, but that was bar down, and just about as disgusting of a bar down goal that you will ever see. Nikolai Ehlers making it happen, and hey, you love to see that. And I said, you know what, I think if the Jets get one here, they're really just, going to find their confidence, and they're going to be able to bury a lot here. As soon as they can get one through Soros, I think they're going to do fine. And then what happens just over, 30 seconds later? Evan Jalestia scores his 3rd of the year. I'm not too familiar with him. I believe he's pretty young. I think they said he was 21-year-old. Scores 3rd of the year, so he's probably a pretty decent player. But a heartbreaker. Just going back to, the Jets shooting themselves in the foot. Here we go again. It's Neil Pionk with a bad turnover, and then he can't box the guy out in front of the net, and it just leads to a goal. And it's tough, man. That was not good, and just really tough to watch. Pionk played terrible today during the game, and it's going to be funny in a minute here when I talk about the overtime. But man, Pionk, you got to be better than that, man. He's had a rough year, and I don't want to keep beating a dead horse here, but I really thought, wow, this might be the game where Neil Pionk gets scratched next game. And it really felt like a backbreaker there, as Winnipeg, just had all that momentum, and then as soon as it was there, it was gone just as fast. 2-1 Predators, not what we were looking for. But you know what? The Jets need some scoring. They're not getting it from Mark Scheifele. They're not getting it from Blake Wheeler. They're not getting it from Kyle Connor, etc., etc. Who else better to score in this game but Adam Lowry, assisted from Josh Morrissey and Vladislav Nemestikov. This was a massive goal to tie it at 2 here, just over the 10-minute mark in the third period. Adam Lowry couldn't have picked a better time to put that one in the net. Jets needed that bad in a must-win game here. They have to fend off Nashville, and it would have been an inexcusable loss today. Inexcusable if they didn't pull out at least a point today with how well they played. And Adam Lowry makes sure that they do not go home empty-handed, and actually forces overtime. And here we go. In overtime, it's Pierre-Luc Dubois who's back. It's his first game back, and hey, he came up big in this overtime, drove to the net, and it's Neil Pionk picking up the garbage, scoring his 9th of the year, 55 seconds into overtime, and that is all she wrote from Nashville, Tennessee. The Winnipeg Jets pick up a massive 2 points to go ahead of the Nashville Predators by another point. Nashville does still have the 3 games in hand, but obviously you got to win those games, got to force them. Same thing with Calgary. Calgary has not played yet as the time of recording this, but hopefully they lose to the Dallas Stars, because that would make it that much better today. But the Jets pick up a massive 2 points in a game where they really couldn't afford to lose, and it would have been really tough if they lost this game. They played so well today. That was one of the better games of the year they've played today. Big ol' Shining Star Award, it could go to a couple different players. It could go to Adam Lowry, who I think didn't play, a bad game today. But one guy that I do think deserves it is Morgan Barron, who has been on an absolute heater as of late. He's taken so much strides the last 2-3 weeks or so. He has turned into a really nice player for this Jets team, and you notice him everywhere. The last 5 games or so, he's really broken out into a legit bottom 6 player who's just, hard to play against. He can add offense. And I don't know, you just see the confidence oozing off Morgan right now. So I'm loving it. And hey, big ol' Shining Star Award goes to you today, Morgs. So, very exciting. Big Jets win. They are 5 points up on Nashville and Calgary at the time of recording this. Of course, if Calgary wins or gets a point, that will change. So if you're watching this the next day and that happened, you're obviously going to see Calgary with, different points. But right now, Jets are making it more difficult on Nashville and Calgary to catch them. They do play St. Louis tomorrow, and that is a big game, so we will see what happens. The Jets have a track record of playing very well against St. Louis and bringing out the best in themselves, against St. Louis. So we'll see if Jordan Binnington... Jordan Binnington is not playing tomorrow. It's Joel Hofer, the Manitoba product. So hopefully we don't get cursed by that. Hopefully he doesn't have a career game against the Jets. But hey, I would love to see them pick up another 2 tomorrow and just really kind of just start hammering these nails in the coffin here, making it really tough for Calgary and Nashville. But today was a nice big step forward. The last 5-6 games that the Jets have played, I thought they've played fine, but they just haven't been able to find that extra gear to really push themselves over the edge and just take the game away from their opponents. Today, they finally did that against Nashville, and I think they did it for most of the game, for, a whole 58 minutes, maybe. I think there was a couple times where, they kind of got hemmed in their own end and stuff like that, maybe a little sloppy there in the second period. But for the most part today, the Jets played very solid, and hey, you really can't complain about that one. That was just an overall fantastic game from them, and that's how this team can play. And with, Pierre-Luc Dubois obviously coming back in the lineup today, that was a big addition, and while he was quiet at times, he was a big impact as the game went on. Just being a pest as he always is, kind of just driving towards the net. On the power play, I don't love the power play. It's kind of weird, but we talked about that in the last video. If you want to go check that out, go for it. Pretty much the same story, but overall, can't complain about today. The Jets pick up a massive 2 points. But yeah, that's the recap and the highlights, guys. I am going to hop on out of here. Thank you so much for watching. As always, leave a comment down below with your thoughts on the game. Who do you think was the best player today? I'd love to hear from you guys. And how do you think the Jets are going to fare tomorrow against the St. Louis Blues? So yeah, leave all that down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next one, probably tomorrow. So go Jets go. See you soon. Bye-bye.